What's up, guys? We're back with video number 4 of the Theme Park Tycoon 2 tutorial series. My name is Connor, and let's jump right into this. So for video 4 today, we're going to be talking about coaster physics. Ooh, yeah, science. So this may be a little bit more boring of a video, you guys probably will think that, but this is probably the most important video out of the 7 in the series because this will really let you understand how coasters work and how you're able to make a good working coaster. So let's kick things right off by talking about gravity. Most of you guys have probably heard of what gravity is, apple falling on someone's head. It's the force that keeps us all on the earth, yada 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 yada. So right here I have a demonstration on how gravity really works in the game. We have 3 separate tracks over here that you can see, and they're all at the exact same starting height. They all have the same slope going down, and at the very bottom they're at the exact same slope. As you can see, this changes up where the ending height is, the first one being the lowest, next one right where it was before, and the third one being above where it started. Wherever the coaster starts out, going down, it should have the same amount of force from gravity to push itself back up to the top. So what you guys want to keep in mind is that friction is there, you can't just ignore it, and you need to keep your coaster pieces underneath one of each other basically. So if you're not using a launch coaster, then your hill height is going to be the highest point on your coaster, theoretically. So let's just jump right into this demonstration to show you guys exactly what I mean by all of this. If we go ahead and test the first one, I added these little uphill parts so that you can see how much speed each one carries through each hill. Let's see what happens. And it makes it over with enough speed to keep going down a hill if there was another after it. And of course it explodes because, I guess that's how it works. You make no sense. So then if we move on to the second one, you can see what happens with this one. And it has basically no momentum anymore. This is due to the amount of gravity it has and the little bit of friction working on it. You can see it has basically no speed to go to the next one. And then we hit test. And it doesn't have enough speed to make it to the top. So like I said before, everything on your ride should be below the highest point of your coaster, which most likely is the lift hill, that is if you're not using a launch coaster. Due to gravity, it won't be able to make it over a hill that's any taller than your original tallest lift hill. Now we move on to friction. This also plays a lot into what you're going to be doing when building a coaster. Each one of these tracks right here is identical to the other, except for one, the right one, has no friction set to it, while the other one has 100% or just normal amount of friction that any coaster would have. So what we can do here is we can test one and count how long it takes to get to this light orb right here, and then we'll start the other one and count how long it takes to get to the light orb as well. And this will show you how much friction plays into what you're building with a coaster. So I got my handy dandy phone here with my timer open, and hopefully I'll be able to add in a timer for you guys to see up in the corner, like here or here or here, somewhere that you're able to see how long each one of these takes. So I'll start the timer from the second I click testing, so we have a pretty accurate amount of time for each one. And remember, we are looking for the amount of time it takes to get to this light orb right here. So we get about 16 seconds, maybe a little over or under, depending on the timer. But we get around 16 seconds to get from point A over here to point B, which for some reason makes it explode. So next up, we'll try the coaster with no friction, and we'll see how quick it gets to the point. this one only took about 14 seconds. And again blew up for who knows what reason. This goes to show you that the coaster is slowing down when there is friction applied to it. So you need to keep that in mind, especially when it's going up a hill and it may not have enough speed to it. One way to overcome this is simply by, like I said, getting this game pass to let you set no friction, which can be pretty helpful in my opinion if you're really into coaster building. So lastly, with coaster physics, we'll get into G-forces. This isn't really as big of a problem with how well your coaster will work because G-forces are really for the game and for you to just look at and give a sense of realism. G-forces in no way are really going to affect how your coaster is running, but it still may help smooth it out, and it really helps make the coaster look a lot more realistic. As you can see in front of me, I have two different types of tracks, both identical in their size, shape, how much they're being boosted by. We got 3 boosters, each one set at 200%. The only difference is we have banked turns for the left one and non-banked turns for the right one. There's not much need to test these, so all we need to do is click on them, go to stats, and then scroll down. You can see the G-forces right here. So if we go over to the one on the right, this one has no banking. And what we're looking for is both lateral and vertical G's. G-forces is just kind of what the weight feels like on you, either going up and down or side to side. You can see this one has absolutely no vertical G-forces because it's all flat. There's nothing to give vertical G-force, which would be either banking a turn or having it slope downwards. And then over here you can see that our lateral G-forces are 1.6. That's the force that's pushing you to the side. So for instance, either out of the car or to the person next to you. Now, because this isn't really a very quick ride, it doesn't have super high G-forces that you can see. But if we go over to the right one, we click on stats, you can see this one has vertical G-forces. That's because the banking transfers those lateral G-forces into vertical G-forces. I know it can get pretty complicated sounding, but just try to stick with me through this. Instead of pushing you out to the side, the banking pushes that weight down into your body more than out to the side of your body. The main thing that this helps is realism, which in a real coaster, if it were to have completely flat turns like this, would give you whiplash and possibly kill you if you're going quick enough. Whereas having the bank turns helps transfer those G-forces so that you can withstand more of it. If we were to ride both of these coasters, you'll be able to see a very clear difference on which one looks a lot smoother. So as you guys can see, physics plays a lot into how roller coasters works, obviously, because that's how coasters work in real life as well. Next up in the series, we'll be looking at how to build these coasters into a real thing instead of just these kind of lame examples. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new as usual. If you guys think that I've missed anything, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll hopefully get to it in a later video or respond to you in the comments down below. Please feel free to like the video, guys. It really lets me know that you guys are enjoying the video and the series. And if you really do like it, please subscribe because you'll be able to see the rest of the series and whatever else I come out with in the future. That's all from me right now, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Oh, I should probably stop recording.